You have certainly heard of the Big Bang as the beginning of the universe as we know it, thanks to that immensely popular TV show. The Big Bang is considered to be the beginning of the universe. To be more specific though, what events took place before the Big Bang? Is it even important to be aware of it? For a long time, scientists have been struggling to make sense of the events that took place before the Big Bang. However, because they do not have the appropriate equipment for their research, it has been difficult for them. But now that the incredibly powerful James Webb Space Telescope has been added to the collection of the telescopes that scientists have access to, we are finally obtaining the solution to the question of what occurred before the Big Bang. How will the James Webb Space Telescope perceive the period of time before the Big Bang? What exactly will it observe? In this video, we will demonstrate some recent findings made by the James Webb Space Telescope, including what was before the Big Bang. It has just been confirmed that the most distant and oldest starlight ever seen was identified by NASA's $10 billion space telescope just days into its live research operations last summer. The James Webb Space Telescope uncovered early galaxies that existed close to the Big Bang 13.8 billion years ago, the beginning of the universe, that no other instrument had previously observed. This undiscovered nation of early galaxies is referred to as the dark universe. It was able to achieve this thanks to its one-of-a-kind design, which enabled it to detect old infrared light that had been distorted by the passage of space and time. The discovery of the two ancient galaxies was made billions of light years in the past behind a massive galactic cluster known as Abell 2744. When compared to galaxies located close to the Milky Way, which visible light-capable telescopes such as the Hubble Space Telescope are able to observe, these early galaxies have a very distinct appearance. The GLASS JWST Early Release Science Program and the Cosmic Evolution Early Release Science Survey made two of the most significant discoveries in the history of astronomy when they found two galaxies that existed between 350 and 450 million years after the Big Bang. This week's issue of the astrophysical journal Letters featured publications from both the GLASS and SEERS research groups. In these photographs of the universe's outskirts taken by the Webb Space Telescope, we can see two of the most distant galaxies ever observed. Both galaxies appear to be intriguingly compact, just 1% the size of our own Milky Way galaxy, spherical and bright, and rapidly birthing stars. Both galaxies also appear to have similar star formation rates. It is believed that they had already begun the process of star formation just 100 million years after the Big Bang. This new understanding was only made possible by the extremely sharp photos captured by the JWST in infrared light. These galaxies are also very different from the Milky Way or other big galaxies we see around us today, said Tommaso Treu of the University of California at Los Angeles, who is a co-investigator on one of the Webb's programs. Milky Way and other big galaxies we can see around us today are both examples of spiral galaxies. Everything we see here is brand new. The first discoveries made by the James Webb Space Telescope have astronomers scratching their heads. According to Garth Illingworth of the University of California at Santa Cruz, these galaxies would have to have started coming together maybe just 100 million years after the Big Bang. The age of this primordial universe would have only been one-tenth of what it is now. No one anticipated that the Dark Ages would have come to an end so quickly. One idea proposes that these brilliant galaxies are extremely massive and contain a great number of stars with low masses. Another characteristic of population 3 galaxies is their lower total mass, which results in a lower density of extremely luminous stars. If the latter theory is correct, then it would suggest that the James Webb Space Telescope has already found evidence that the first stars were ever created. This is a whole new chapter in astronomy. Like, it's an archaeological dig when you suddenly find a lost city or something you didn't know about. Paolo Santini, the fourth author of the Glass James Webb Space Telescope article, said. It's like discovering a lost city you didn't know something about. It's just really astonishing. The James Webb Space Telescope, which is operated by NASA, is discovering bright, early galaxies that have been concealed from view up to this point. One of these galaxies may have been formed only 350 million years after the Big Bang. Thursday, astronomers announced that if the results were verified, this newly discovered throng of stars will beat the most distant galaxy identified by the Hubble Space Observatory. The record holder for this distinction was formed 400 million years after the beginning of the universe. The Webb telescope, which was launched in December of last year as a successor to the Hubble Space Telescope, is providing evidence that suggests stars may have originated earlier than was previously believed, possibly within a couple million years of the Big Bang. An international team that was led by Rohan Naidu of the Harvard-Smithsonian Center for Astrophysics and worked on the Webb's most recent discovery just published their findings in the astrophysical journal Letters. The article provides additional information about two galaxies that are unusually bright, the first of which is estimated to have originated 350 million years after the Big Bang, and the other of which is thought to have formed 450 million years later. According to Naidu, Webb will need to make additional observations in the infrared spectrum before claiming to have found a new record holder. According to statements made by scientists at a news conference held by NASA, even though some researchers claim to have discovered galaxies that are closer in time to when the universe was created 13.8 billion years ago, these candidates have not yet been verified. They remarked that some of those could be later galaxies that were trying to imitate earlier ones. Garth Illingworth, a professor at the University of California, Santa Cruz, and one of the co-authors of the article that was released on Thursday, described the current era as a really dynamic time. There have been several tentative announcements of even earlier galaxies, and the scientific community is still working to determine which of them are most likely to be real. According to Tommaso Treju, a chief scientist for Webb's Early Release Science program and a professor at the University of California, Los Angeles, the evidence that has been presented thus far is as solid as it gets for the galaxy that is believed to have formed 350 million years after the Big Bang. Naidu and his team said that Webb will be very effective in pushing the cosmic frontier all the way to the verge of the Big Bang, if the discoveries can be verified, and if there are additional early galaxies out there. According to what the researchers noted, when and how the first galaxies formed remains one of the most intriguing puzzles. Jane Rigby, a project scientist working on the Webb's Space Telescope for NASA, made the observation that these galaxies were lying just under the limitations of what Hubble could achieve. She said to reporters that they were right there waiting for us. It came as a pleasant shock to learn that there are a great number of these galaxies to investigate. The observatory, which cost $10 billion, is the largest and most powerful telescope ever launched into space. It is now located in a solar orbit 1 million miles, or 1.6 million kilometers, from Earth. The beginning of full scientific activities occurred during the summer, and since then, NASA has disseminated a number of breathtaking images of the cosmos. The discovery, along with the other possible identifications of extremely distant galaxies that scientists have postulated in the month since James Webb Space Telescope began its mission, is not simply oddities. Scientists are able to refine the timeline between the Big Bang and the cosmos as we know it today by locating these ancient galaxies and determining their locations. Astronomers have made similar estimates on the number of galaxies that could be found at these distances, but according to the data made by JWST so far, candidates are proving to be more plentiful than anticipated. Because of the richness, scientists now believe that the formation of galaxies, and by extension, the stars that the galaxies are composed of, must have begun far earlier than was previously assumed. That's it for today. What do you think about this new discovery? Tell us in the comments section. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Also, click on the subscribe button to learn more about exciting discoveries. Thanks for watching.